Getting ourselves free of all the concepts is not quite a difficult task. It needs no effort at all. Just being completely effortless will do that. A task of giving up actually requires no effort. To be effortless in our lifestyle is the only alternative to such institutional conceptuality. All kinds of arts and sports just aim at reaching this very state of effortlessness. All the movements of worms, insects, birds, animals, aquatic creatures, everything lives its life to the fullest in such effortless spontaneity. To learn this effortlessness in every walk of our life is to learn how to transcend death. Birds blossom effortlessly, streams flow effortlessly, grass grows effortlessly. This very effortlessness is nature. In such natural effortlessness, there is no ultimate cessation, no finality of death. It is like giving up a dream. Giving up a dream is very effortless one. We have only to be aware of it. The very process of being aware is the greatest art of effortlessness. Do not just let anything control you. No conceptual authority. Just get back to your pure self, and every cover is gone that has so far hidden this world for you. But inhabiting our world of concepts, we have become so much accustomed to making efforts that we cannot think beyond it. Our very thinking is a supreme human effort, and we think that we do everything with our thinking. But if we become a little bit mindful, then we realize that all the essential activities of our living, like our breathing in and out, pumping of heart, the very process of digestion, everything is happening with non-thinking. So like those activities, our totality of living also can be non-thinking and effortless one, opening up a door to the realm of non-conceptuality. And entering the door, we realize that the highest intellectuality lies not in our capability of thinking, but in our pervasive appreciation of beauty. So, a non-conceptual living is a very artful involvement in the mysterious beauty of music, poetry, painting, running, swimming, walking, sitting, and so on. All such activities are mysteriously beautiful because the enjoyment associated goes beyond all the conceptual explanations, being free of the concepts of competition and ambition in the realm of non-conceptuality. These artful activities become an effortless spontaneity and a sheer joy, as when sitting, just sitting, when walking, just walking, while running, just running, while swimming, just swimming, while painting, just painting, while singing, just singing, and while listening, just listening without any thinking, just like our own flow of breath, just like our own flow of blood. However, the present global world also has ushered a great disaster to such institutional domination. The more this global communication widens, the deeper the human beings understand that no conceptual framework is complete in itself, and no religious and political idea really bothers about the liberation and deliverance of humanity as a whole. Rather, each of such institutional ideas concentrates in gaining more and more power and authority on human beings. Control and domination is everything that this institution and institutional ideas rejoice. Now, in such situation, any sensitive man can feel that no singular conceptual idealism is fulfilling enough for the vast expanse of his life. And for the sake of this fulfillment, if he lets all such self-contradictory and mutually conflicting ideas to play inside his mind, then the emptiness of all such ideas will loom large, and he eventually comes to see the probability of non-conceptual living. It is an absolute emptiness arising out of the destructive self-contradiction and mutual negation of all such ideals. And in that emptiness, a man has his real peace of no mind, because no longer his mind is there. His mind, which has been nothing but a consolidation of all the conceptual habits of judgment, are all gone in self-negation. Nothing that we know well becomes our belief. Not every kind of knowing brings about knowledge. To be precise, a real knowing is simply the expression of our newly found confidence in existence in itself. Every recalling is a new happening. Each remembrance is an event. Being silent in the midst of nature makes you remember that this silence is not your personal one. In the pervasive flow of the cosmic silence, you are only a floating bubble. Every time, this human experience is the same everywhere. It is completely irrespective which country and time you belong to. In complete silence, such experience happens, inevitably awakening a mysterious sense of integration with the totality of existence as without conforming to any given set of values. An understanding of this integration arises there all by itself. In this respect, nothing but our silence serves as the greatest educator. The way this silence teaches us is without any technique and mechanism. It just involves a deepening and our awareness and beyond. Silence is a cessation of all the conceptual turmoil inside you. To be silent is to be one with non-conceptual intelligence of nature, of the whole of cosmos itself. However, every deepening of our sense requires slowing down all our business. Unless we slow down, this silence doesn't arise by itself. The silence is the very essence of us. And once being aware of its presence, it cannot be taken away by throwing any business or violence of the external world on us. Anything that cannot be taken away is divine. Actually, what we cannot even expect to know becomes known. This silence overcomes our living. Complete silence of our mind is a consequence of knowing the unknowable. Standing external to this silence, no one can understand it. What we do not know cannot understand. Only the known becomes understandable. In silence, every repetition stops, and the celebration of newness of everything begins. Without the feeling of newness, no repetition comes to its cessation, and it is repetition that is the source of all human illusions and falsity. Silence is the truth itself, and the only meditation of cosmos. Thinking or the conceptuality is always of the past, of the repetition. It is a labyrinth of boredom and death. No thinking or conceptuality becomes a way to the cosmic newness. It is this silence that only takes us to this realm of cosmic newness, and that is the life forever. In silence, it becomes known that when I try to refuse my ego, that is also a different kind of egoism. All our past lives are only ramification of different egoism of this kind. Reacting to such ego is only strengthening the ego. It is only by remaining devoid of reaction devoid of reaction, we can prevent the experiencing of such ego. The state of being without experience always wipes this ego out of existence because it is actually an illusion created from the mutual friction of our various imaginations or concepts. It is in this silence we can be watchful of all the movements of our thoughts involving all our wishes and expectations, and of the mysteries of our dreams. And whenever a mystery is known, it is no more a mystery. It is to this watchfulness, this movement of all our dreams become extinct. As whenever a mystery is known, it is no more a mystery. It is to this watchfulness that this movement of all our dreams becomes extinct. It is only in the extinction of such dreams the real brightness of our true beauty happens. Without this silence, if anyone seeks self-realization, what he gets is this realization of all his dreams, which are nothing but his distorted thoughts, corruptions of conceptual authority. Self-realization cannot take place unless we become utterly silent. When no conceptual authority in forms of our memories, ambitions, expectations are active within us, we are neither in the past nor in the future, but are completely attentive to our presence to the fullest. There is then no more chattering inside, and we can listen to the distant depth of every sound around. Such a deep listening involves non-interfering and non-judgmental state of your mind. That is actually your no mind. In that listening, self-realization arises all by itself, making us feel that we are actually a single integrated personality with this universe. Here is the joy. Our personality is not personal, it is cosmic one. We then can see beauty everywhere, which doesn't suffer the conceptual bipolarity of an ugliness to its opposite, because conceptual authority is now no longer the controller of our living. We then know how to know from our non-knowing, how to do with non-doing, how to think with non-thinking. Indeed, the freer you are from the influences of all your conceptual authority, the more you can see the unseen, hear the unheard, and know the unknown. It is in this relation of silence you become one with this universe. In this silence, even if you look at your own death with no conceptualized images traditionally associated, it appears as a very smooth process of nature and nothing else. In reality, if one wants to understand anything, he has to love it. Without love, no true understanding takes place. If you truly love anything, then it has every right to belittle, to play with all your prejudices and egoism, and you get thereby free from the grips of them. Understanding happens in the space of that freedom. It is in love we become free from our sense of security and other probable risks which otherwise we haven't taken, and become eligible for a realization of existence as in itself. So love is the only true relationship that can deliver us. So love is the only true relationship that can deliver us from every kind of falsity and renders us as the personality of integrated morality. The highest excellence in anything is not really the goal of our life. Human life is not really meant for attaining any efficiency or mechanical excellence. Rather, it is meant to find out a nobler way to this love. All our streams of pure knowledge, such as art, music, painting, dance, and pure science, as well as all flow to merge in the vastness of the sea of love. There is no space for excellence and success in love. Love is nothing but a sense of integration and interconnectedness. Actually, every personal reading is a misreading. Every personal understanding is a misunderstanding. And there is no greater distance from our existence in itself than this misunderstanding. To make a right reading and understanding is to be beyond our personality. And it is love that destroys our personality. If you are in love only, then you can read and understand the language of existence. You can read and understand whatever emotions you are enjoying or suffering. You can read and understand whatever emotions you are enjoying or suffering are nothing but fire that consumes and makes you a light unto your own self. You can read and understand that your very burning itself is in full presence and participation. You can read and understand that your very burning itself is in full presence and participation in cosmic festival of light. Love is the truth in itself, which can never be a subject to any human experimentation. It can only be experienced when our awareness depends and crystallizes itself. We feel this love emitting from the depth of our heart. The crystallization of coal into diamond suggests a perfect parallel of how our awareness crystallizes itself into love. In love, all our misreading and misunderstanding stop, and the whole world becomes a beautiful expression of joyful mysteries. Love always invites us out of our habits of thinking, habits of our liking and disliking, so that we can appreciate these mysteries. We can appreciate, so that we can appreciate these mysteries. Love always invites us out of our habits of thinking, habits of our likes and dislikes, so that we can appreciate these mysteries. We can appreciate these mysteries. This love can be musically composed, can be danced and painted with light and darkness, but can never be conceptualized. They need not be conceptualized indeed. Love is so fulfilling that it leaves no space for any concepts or ideas. In love, you become a witness to your very self. A love affair is a very serious one where seriousness is absolutely absent. Love is the essential poetry of life. Nothing can be enjoyed without the feeling of such poetry. Love is the only condition which makes our existence fuller with life. In love, we realize that our body, the whole of our physicality, is not actually a mechanism of various kinds of hungers, but it is a space where touch happens. It is this touch through which this world is felt in its entirety. No emotion, no beauty, no suffering opens its door to the world beyond. Touch is the true mother who brings up life in its true reality. Love is nature in itself. It leaves actually no space for improvement. Any effort to improve in reality leads us to disaster. Through love only we can accept the nature and our own very nature as well in totality. A total acceptance only renders us a balance and equilibrium of this cosmos. Silence is the natural consequence of this equilibrium. The very wish to improve and to grow powerful is the worst block in the way to such acceptance. Love is the highest intelligence that comes from the acceptance of the other as the organic unity. In love, we feel that our body is so full of pity and sympathy with us. Our body provides us with everything we require to go beyond our physicality and get at the absolute sense of love in itself. Our way of acceptance of nature as well as of this very human nature may change, but whichever way it is, it must be an acceptance in its totality. Any resistance to this acceptance will create an illusion wherein it is really good and beautiful may appear ugly and worst kind. Acceptance of our own true nature in its totality is the only way out of this illusion. And when out of such illusions a man of understanding enters a realm of unexpected, he plays happy with all such unexpected, and his very manners becomes an expression of sheer unexpectedness. Actually, spirituality is not about any practice or habit. Spirituality is all about non-practice. No expression of modesty, honesty, or love can be practiced. They arise and express all by themselves through that non-practicing state. It is a life dedicated to arts and sports, which is the true stepping stone to a spiritual life. A real spiritual life always involves a process of creativity. A spiritual personality is a true happy one, which can never be controlled and manipulated. A spiritually awakened person is an embarrassment and danger to every institution. A man of spirituality knows that just looking at every subject of your love is the most sensitive touch of this cosmos. Indeed, when you love anyone, you do not actually enter the person of your love. Rather, you enter a state of pervasive love. It is as if there is no love but loveliness. There is no God but godliness. The spiritual persons are the lovers who aren't different from each other, though they may appear two. Together they are a singular cosmic personality. It is due to such personality a lover can easily accept everything without complaints and understand everything, because our very play of complaining and blaming is the greatest block on the way to any deeper realization. When you are integrated in the very existence itself, then you love each and every of your expressions. There is no conflict and therefore no ego. Actually, this personality, this personality is no longer thinkable in human terms then. Rather, it is now a cosmic presence. A man of spirituality is full of realization that the innate nature of life is to be one with the other, and so in a lover, all the emotions, so in a lover, all the emotions are in perfect harmony with each other, as if a lover is nothing but a cosmic song. Whatever natural is this cosmic, it is a delight, a joy in itself. And as the joy is never a concept, it has no other meaning at all. In that non-conceptual joy, lover knows that love has no opposite, no contrary. It is our very life, our very essence. This silence is our real simplicity, where we become adept of living and dying as well to a non-conceptual completeness. A spiritually awakened person knows that this world is not a problem to be solved. This world is a mystery to be enjoyed with all our sense of wonders. This world is neither full of meaning nor a meaningless one. This world only exists with the complete mystery of cosmic existence. In such spiritual silence of non-thinking, non-doing, and non-knowing simplicity, a spiritual person can make such a confession to himself that there is no limit to our living, as love is limitless. Enlightenment is limitless.